And hello everyone, welcome to my channel for one new more video. And today, we have a big work to do because I already selected the replay and we are about to use the huge big scale of Supreme Commander. We are going on Seton's Cluch, but don't worry, it's not a 4v4, it's still a 1v1, but we will see how the game can go with some top players level and on a heavy echo map. So I hope the show will be there. Show must go on, of course. So let's start right now. Yeah, that's the end of the week. I hope you are all waiting for weekend, which is coming, and which will have a big tournament because it will be the second War Invitational 01800 Cup. I think it's the entire title, or just the World Cup, Voices of Reason. But today we will see one more time. You will think I'm in love with Zockyzock because I'm always casting this player, but he has a very cool style. He's still playing random, so this time he's playing Seraphim, and we already had a matchup, Zockyzock against Pachuriko. Few videos ago, it was on Forbidden Pass, I don't know if you remember, and it was a very hot fight with a lot of hot units. So I expect even more because of this damn big map. That's the most symbolic map of Supreme Commander, Vanilla, on Subcom 2, on Forge Alliance, on FAF Forever. On each game close to the license, Seton's Cluch has been like the symbol. Because it's big, it's huge, and everything has an impact. Navy, there's you'll say two navy, because there's two oceans. Land, which is very important, with of course the middle reclaim here. And on the meantime, air. For players who know a little of how it is played in 4v4, you know, there's the air player spot has to rush tech free air and spam ISF like a monster. So in 1v1, it's totally different. So you can see first trick, he is using the reclaim with the build. How does he get this range? Because it was initially an order from the land factory, okay, for those who don't. And he is using an even more advanced trick. You can see he's reclaiming the trees by entire pack, which deliver a lot of energy, way more than if you reclaim the trees one by one. How do you do this? If I understand well, I'm not using it a lot. You have to the reclaim order in an area where there were no visio yet, so you never had a unit coming here before, and you can see there were no visio here, so it got reclaimed by entire packs. For this reason, you can make this crazy build order without energy stalling. You build a 6 PGN air factory, plus on the meantime a land factory. So you can see that the spam will start very early on. Sorry. sorry. What I missed, first NG, who had a tough time. Too bad I didn't see how it survived because it's so important NG. But it using the range still to reclaim the destroyers and probably the racks around. Because you have to know when an NG has a reclaim order, he will start by the most valuable units, which are the most expensive ones. Here, a little light bot, here another light bot. It's spotted by the scouts, but not intercepted. He tried by an ACU move, but that's a very big kill. You can see, is it enough? Yeah, good job from Zockyzock. He's already, the bomber will be dead, so very aggressive air from Pachuriko, which is sending Oh, two bombers. Now that's a mistake. The first bomber, you never can know what your opponent is. However, going two bombers, that's quite a problem. And you can see the strength of those light bots, which are totally denying any expansion. On I played this map a lot of times in 1v1. Bomber here spotted, but now there's an anti-air. But still, imagine one bomb in this pack of edges, it will be a disaster. Because the speed of expansion to take all your side will be as important as the middle reclaim. So, all in all, if this light bot, it has been killed now, we can see here. And even when you're in game, don't forget that you can check how many units your tank killed. It helps a lot. Okay, so no NG is killed. Good job after quite a hard start. And he's spamming power. Why? Of course he will have too many power, but when he will reach the reclaim place, it will be the most... like, if you just build enough power to spam, you won't be able to use your reclaim. To use your reclaim at maximum, you have to get a maximum of energy income. So you can see, it's bigger than on every other map we saw until now. 4 NGs on the power production, plus those 2 on the hydro construction. The expansion, slowly but surely, is coming. You can see 4 NGs of expansions, 5 with this one. Who's making factories? Why factories here? You probably know it's to reclaim this entire forest. We will see billions of NGs. What's also very interesting, and maybe we will see it, I hope, is that the unit restriction, 1000 units, is sometimes a problem on this kind of big maps. On those two players, they are both very good at very large scale games with some very high incomes. Very few players can deal with more than 300 or 400 mass income. It becomes very hard to use, and then the reclaim part is getting. So good start from Pachuriko. He has earlier Mantis, and he is putting the ACU of Zock in the sea. So that's a very strong point from Pachuriko at this point. First, we can see he has the air coverage. He's securing the rest of the reclaim. That's huge. Even if Zock will lose his radar, because the attack is launched right now, you can see where are the units. So Zock, since the beginning of this game, he is on the defensive. He didn't had, for the moment, any opportunity to launch an offensive, for example a bomber. It was probably planned to attack the expansions to kill some NGs, but those bombers have been intercepted, and then any attempt of red has been cancelled. So very good start by Pachuriko. You can see 4000 reclaimed for now. I think he didn't had half of the reclaim, but it's not over yet, and now he has a minimum of spam, so he's able to come back even if the ACU is low HP. Well, not low HP, but half HPs at least. And the scout finally. You know how it is important now, the scout, sorry. Tech 2 max, so very early tech 2 maxes. And yeah, still factories start reclaiming from all over the places. A common strategy in Seton 1v1 is to drop some NGs and try to spam on the enemy side. If it's not controlled soon, it can become very dangerous in a very short time. So for this reason, you can see on the most susceptible places to drop, there's always a scout patrolling. A second one here. What I even prefer is to give a patrol order to a bomber, because if it's a bomber who patrols, it will automatically bomb the NGs, and faster you bomb the NGs, maybe you will be able to abort the drop possibility, and if there's no PD or anti-air or factory build, it's a total control and very cost effective, because you totally denied the drop attempt. So there's a gun attempt, but it will probably be cancelled by Zock, I don't know. Well, actually there's... no, it looks to be okay for now. However, a little of mass deficit. However, the energy production at plus 700 is very good. Nearly no waste for them. So he very well timed his gun upgrade, because most of the players do it too late or too early. At this moment, he just had his energy storage. We see it right now. He's gaining some reclaim, and if he managed to get gun upgrade, he could resist with a smaller number of units. Tech 2 maxes on Tech 1 pigeon spam, which is normal. So that's what we know for now. If you ask me what's the best strategy on Seton's Cluch, you have so many maxes that it's hard to say, but the best strategy is to do a lot of everything. You have to do a lot of air, you have to push a lot on land, and you can try to avoid navy for a certain time, but if you don't win very fast, you will be attacked by navy for sure, because it's so strong against air, and it has big range, so it can attack your base. Yeah, all the aspects of the game are very important. I'd like to know if Zock has some Tech 2 maxes for now. He started one, and with a lot of build right. You see suddenly he's having more maxes. He's close to the reclaim, and this gun ACU will be easily cost effective. Still another scout, you can see not too many Tech 2 factories, because Pachuriko could try what we could call a Rhino timing. With 10 Tech 2 factories, he produces a lot of Rhino with some Medusa, and very fast can try a big push, which could end the game. It's a very big window of attack for Cybrand players. Also, what's very dangerous with gun upgrade is that, you see, he control K the PD and try to reclaim it as fast as possible. Any attempt of mass is good. So, good point for Seraphim player, the Hoover RT. It's not a big advantage, but still it's an advantage, so we have to use it as Seraphim players. Very good RT, and it's hard to control. Petric will probably see it on the radar, but he will have to send some bombers, or probably take to gun time it here. About the radar coverage, 2 radars, still okay. On the presence of NGs more or less everywhere, so it looks to be classic, no drop attempt. Oh yeah, Petric, he got this island very fast. Yeah, on Zock, he sees everything. That's good. And I think that's the perfect map to talk about multitasking. Multitasking in RTS games, it's one of the biggest aspects. But what you have to understand by multitasking is a lot of things. It's not only the APM, the action per minute. Of course, those two players have very high APM. They are able to do a lot of actions per second, but being able to multitask, it's being able to think the map everywhere, not only to focus on one battle, and even if you have excellent micro, it won't be enough. You have to get in mind what NGs you have, what factory, where is it. You can drop everywhere on more of this, so Tech 2 where we can notice it now. Same for Zock, who started to spam some Tech 2 gens here, we can see, but he needs more of those. I don't know where the ones are planned, and you can see how the energy that has been reclaimed, it's huge and it's still increasing. But still no navy, that's what scares me. Then, on the meantime, you can see he reached 130 mass income, and we are only at 11 minutes. Tech 2 chicken boat spam. The HQ is here. For the moment, everything looks good, but you can see he has enough units to launch an attack, but he will never do it, because on such a big map, oh well, it's still risky. Gun on stealth ACU for Pachuriko, on some subs. Okay, but it's not going to take 2 yet. Here maybe we have to check it. Because Tech 2 Navy, it's a very decisive moment. It's 2 NGs here, but those will be reclaimed. So what I was saying, I didn't ended my explanation about multitasking, is that your mind have to be splitted in 100 different tasks. It's like if your brain had to become kind of Intel multi-core, you know, and you have to, like, it's exactly like if you were a computer and you have to keep some space available for some other stuff. Like if you are dropped, you don't have to be already overrun by managing your base and fighting. So to be able to well multitask, I think you have to reduce some aspects, like for example the micro gestion. You see those two players, they could be constantly trying some attacks with RTs, staying at range, but if they do this, they will have to focus on this fight. And if they focus on this fight, they won't be able to do 100 other things at the same time. So you have to give priority. And as you may know, priority is often to the economy. And for the moment, we have to say the economy had been very successful for Zock. He's having a good eco growing. He found the time to some mass storage around the maxes. I don't know if you imagine all the clicks required just only to take your map control. And then focus on dealing with a good economy. Don't forget anything. Don't forget the navy. You can see he's reacting it this quite fast, and Pachuriko as well, very strong on economy. He's doing it. We're scouting the third Tech 2 pigeon. We are not sure there's 3 Tech 2 pigeon, maybe some others here, but it looks to be on the same speed development because Zock always also has 3 of those. He's having a huge number of Tech 2 maxes, probably more than Pachuriko. But what's also interesting is that he will have to keep his map control and he knows he will be dropped. He already has the gunships before the drop comes. It's crazy, it's very good. So if you manage to read what your opponent will do to you, well, you will find more time. So for example, if you have to produce and react to your opponent, you lose some time. But if you know how your opponent will react, you can plan the counter in advance, and like that, it required, I don't know, 2 or 3 clicks to Zock to counter this drop. And yes, he lost 3 Tech 1 maxes, but it's definitely not a big deal. Here it should be defended, but stun time on this. Ah yes, this one it's upgrading to Tech 2. And Pachuriko, he saw it, so for this reason he's focusing the factory. 600 HPs, and it's quite an expensive factory. He will lose it, so very good deny from Petric. However, there's a factory here. Big drop. Big drop. Some emergency Tech 1 PDs, as would say Skull. He's known for this. Whoa! Emergency Tech 1 PD. So here it's the case. There's a Tech 2 gunships, but when you have Rhino on the field, of course they won't. Oh, since when does Rhino kill Tech 1 PD with walls? I don't know. And air support, so that changes everything. What's good is that Zock already planned some flak on the field, but he has to contain this. Hopefully he didn't lose those Tech 2 maxes. It's the most important. But still I'm a little scary for the Tech Freeland. On time, I will say. And where is the ICU now? Okay, so there's a lot of Tech 1 subs for Petric. He knows that more the game will last and more important Navy will become. So good anticipation. He won't try on Tech 2 Navy ready on a lot of Tech 2 maxes. So big echo growing from both players. It will be denied, but again, damage has been done on more drop. So as I said earlier, but it didn't change, the aggression comes from Petric, and Zocky received the attacks. So he's winning some reclaim, but with so many mexes, reclaim is not as important as on more common maps. So he's going for tombs. Really interesting. That's a big map. I hope my computer will resist to this huge scale game, but normally it should be okay. Advantage of air for Petric. But anyway, at 16-minute game we can plan that in few minutes tech free air will be reached. In answers, tech 2 transports. Like Zock, he says, okay, you drop me. That's the best policy you can choose. You know you won't be able to defend such a big area. However, you know that your opponent won't ever be able to defend as well. So if you kill more than you will lose, you know you will lose some stuff anyway. But just kill some stuff to your opponent and it will be even. And very fast rebuilding of the mexes. Few PDs will probably be needed soon. And we have to check when will first tech free pigeon be ready. He stopped the chicken production. Why? Because this unit is obsolete. What do I want to mean by that is that more this unit is on the field, when you produce it, it's a high-tech unit, it's chicken, but it's heavy tech 2 unit. It was at 8, 9, 10 minutes game. But now that the game lasts, this unit is losing some value each minute. It's even worse for the TAM, Tech 1 tank. So that's something to be told. And if I were one of those players, I think I would just take those tanks and control K those, because they won't do any more damage at this stage of the game, it's sure. So some Seraphim top bombers, you know how bad is this unit when it's shallow waters, but on Seton's Cluch it should be okay. Nonetheless, some anticipation again by Zock on some buggy NGs. Yeah, so it sometimes happens. You can see those flags assisting the mechs, so it won't detect that the engineer needs this place to build the world. And maybe in 3-4 minutes it should be okay. Tech free pigeon ready, but it's very exposed. As you know, Tech 2 maybe will come here soon. So that's quite scary. Non-stop scouting from Petric, but also Zock. He made this autumn drop, so very good. You see, Petric, even if he has air control, he's not able to drop everywhere. So this drop is planned here. Okay, and big energy problem. Why? Because he's having the resource allocation upgrade on very assisted. You can see each NG is requiring 500 energy, so that's huge, but he will have it soon. You can energy waste as long as it's not during a long time. He's having some RTs. As I said, it's the kind of unit that only requires a good positioning. It doesn't require micro, so it doesn't require you some time. Here, distro, very important information. Oh, I think it was a TML. So yes, there were one missile ready, but he will send the top bomber, and we have to focus on this drop. Okay, it's already cost effective. Believe me, killing a Tech 2 radar, it's a big loss, because yeah, it's still in the same the same move of idea. He killed the Tech 2 radar, so his opponent will lose some visio, but also Zock is forcing his opponent to think of rebuilding a radar, or directly maybe going on omni sensors, I don't know. But still, it's like, as I said, you are a CPU of a computer, and your memory, I don't know anything about computers, so I will probably look like a noob, but as I mean, he's taking some memory space in Pachuriko's mind. That's what I want to say, and that's always good, because when it will be saturated, it will create some mistakes in your opponent's gameplay. I don't know if I have been very clear about this, but it's very important in 20 per 20 kilometers map when you anyway can't do everything perfectly. So you have to the most important things to do. Tech 2 radar here on the way. Second allocation upgrade going on. Yes. On Tech 3 air, of course, ready. But still, big mass income, but it could be even bigger, I think. Something to notice, which Mexis hasn't been upgraded? Those ones, because it's the side where Zock has no navy presence. So in 5 or 10 minutes he will probably lose this side. It's planned, and he won't even try it. He won't even try to defend because he will lose more mass that he will save. Yeah. Excellent. Chicken drop. As I said, they are losing value on the time, so you have to try to make them cost effective before it becomes even worse. Okay? So he will gain this island, so 5 mexes, it's still good. Those could have been Tech 2, but it wasn't Tech 2 mexes. And yeah. One more time, RT, especially on those big maps, are very good. And he killed the destroyer, good kill. I give you an example. Did you see some Tech 1 games on Whitefire? That's where you see the most beautiful navy micro. But on this map, Seton's Cluch, you will never be able to do some epic navy micro. Or maybe during a short time, but not during all the game. So this RT won't be dodged, whereas on Whitefire it will, at this level, it will nearly never touch a single boat, because it will be dodged all day long. But here, Pachuriko has to do 100 other stuff on the meantime. So yes, Petricpwnz has this mod that indicates when he starts rest, and that's a good sign that we have. We can see here Zock doubling the energy production of his opponent. So he's probably having air, but still I'm worried. I don't know if by doubling the energy production he's still ahead. He started an Aitota. That's a good choice. That's a good choice because it's a good way to break through there. However, on Tech 2 fight bombers, it's also a good choice. I think the cruiser has been killed. He has 2 destroy. It should be enough. It will be save. Oh no! If he loses this Tech, then it will be a big loss. But seeing on the HPs, it will be hard. That will be very close, very close, very close. No, he won't lose the Tech 3 pigeon. I bet it. I bet it. Yeah, he won't lose it. 600 HPs. Another scouting, yeah, and that's a well-timed scout because he knows that his opponent. Holy no! Oh, so it's even more interesting. Zock, by this scout, just realized that he has some options available that he would never think he will have at this time of the game. Petric is Tech 2 air. He's not Tech 3 at 23 minutes game. He has probably a bigger income, I will say. Yeah, he reclaimed the Tech 1 pigeons. Very good point. I don't know if I agree with this attack from Zock. I think he should more wait for his Aitota to be ready. On some more drops, those times they hurt a lot. And that's the bad point for Seraphim. You can't really defend with destroyers because it's shooting the floor all the time. Oh, that's sad. That's sad because those Tech 2 maxes are very important. And since he has air, and his opponent has not, he doesn't have a lot of excuse to be dropped again a lot. So as I said, he lost a lot of Tech 1 maxes. I don't think his chicken has a chance against the destroyer, although he will have for sure the speed advantage on a big commitment from Zock here. Big commitment. How many bricks do we have? My computer will die. Oh, I hate you guys. You will kill my computer. Okay. Okay. Thank you. We don't see anything. But we will keep on the icons just to be sure to see what's happening still. Phew. Yeah, sorry for the eyes. Zock still has some autumns. It's looking good, but it won't pass, I think. The artist can start to make some damages. You can see the focus from the artist on the pigeons, and it's hard. He has to make a lot of damages because all this reclaim he's giving it to Pachuriko, and it's the reclaim for Megalith or Surreaper, so it's a lot of reclaim here. On bricks, it looks that those are doing the job. One autumn will die, so only one autumn left. Yeah, that's not good. That's not. And you can see here, I think there are some other PDs. Yeah, we saw the shots. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, there won't be a single damage. I think it's a turn in the game, because in the meantime the drops is still not totally controlled. And also Zock switching to Strat Bombers just now. He has only 3. I think he could start Strat Bombers as soon as he saw his opponent or Tech 3. No upgrade, well, except Russ, but still 1000 HPs. Yeah, he had gun, I will remember. Is he focusing? No, he's focusing the pigeon. I don't know if it's a good choice, but it's always good to kill a Tech 3 pigeon for sure. But in this configuration, no shield, a little ICU like that, I think he could go for the snipe. It was his biggest opportunity. And maybe now he will try it. No, he will continue to kill the energy. But of course he will not allow his opponent to build a lot of ASF for a moment because of those pigeon kills. But look at how many ASF he loses to the SAM, to the cruisers on both sides, so he lost as much as he killed, I think. On the air side. Now, yeah, it's going very slowly. Now we have to know what this Itota will do, but big problem, you never want to give that much mass to you. I think when we saw in the cast against Mr. Smith, I don't know if you remember, but Zock had done more or less the same mistake. He had attacked Smith's base with a lot of obsidians, whereas he was already tech free, and he didn't wait for his Harbingers to come on the and attack. So here, at a higher tech level, it's more or less the same mistake. But it was very close to pass. Although those tech 2 PDs will still be a problem. And now... now I don't know. I really don't know. You can't know because he will have to face some Tech 2 Navy here probably. But not only, so he wants to run harder on there. You can see for now it's okay on the number. He's not close to the unit cap, and that's a very good strategic move and very up to date. The Tech 2 Hoover tanks became an excellent counter to Tech 1 and Tech 2 Navy, and even Tech 3 Navy. I have to, especially Tech 3 Navy. Yeah, so he really needs a Tech 3 radar. He really needs it because he doesn't have the visuals. Maybe it's stealth anyway, but here he will lose a lot of tanks. And this unit, it was the perfect attempt to counter a Navy on a side where he didn't have a single Navy factory. Here, a little O2 asking to be killed quite fast without suffering too much. And is there Tech 3 mexes? in game, in place. So, not now. I'm really looking everywhere because it's very important, but yeah, you see, that's a kind of rebuilding you want. This drop was so cost effective from it's funny because I get the impression to always say the same word cost effective. Like you can yeah, it's easy to have fun of my cast like cost effective, yeah, everywhere. It's the case, but it's such an important parameter of the game to get everything as cost effective as possible. So T4 little chicken quad ready to attack. And finally tech free sensors, so both of those things will help a lot. Also we can think that Itota has a good range, so it can force the Tech 2 Navy to go back a little. So that's cool. You see Tech 2 shields still useful at this stage of the game. Before it was only to protect the Tech 2 PDs, which won't do much now, but now you can use it to protect your land from the Navy. Quite a big production here with a lot of NGs, 54. And yeah, we have to check, so we know. Yeah, that's not the best counter to take two users, but it's a counter, and that's the most important. Still a big production, and those are factories. So yeah, what is the plan of Pachuriko? Maybe to increase the navy production here. Oh, little problem of energy. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. The light should come back as soon as possible. And take two gunships. This is a better counter to cyber increasers. Be careful to cyber increasers, because they don't have area of damage, so if you send so many tech to gunships, which are not that expensive when you have a 400 income, and you see, it killed all the cruisers. And now, once you have killed the cruisers, you can send your squad bombers, which will, as you can see, one-shot the frigates. Tada! Okay, so a wall. I don't think it will stop the Aitota. However, it hasn't been scouted, or I missed it, but I can bet you there will be a T4 to fight. Or maybe not. Okay, I changed my bet, sorry. When you see so many tech-free factories, you can expect to see a lot of bricks. And yeah, we often see that Seraphim is the best faction in late game. I think it's true, but Chicken is not good against tech-free heavy land. So against brick, it's a very bad unit. Against over T4, Chicken bot, Aitota, it's okay. It's quite good. But against brick, it suffers a lot. However, with so many shields, it's quite difficult. Okay, let's see the micro. So we were saying we have to earn some time by microing less some units, but the decisive moment, like the micro of 84, it will never change. From a 5x5 kilometers map to Seton's Cluch, it will still be the first of your priority. You have to micro as best as you can. And that's three very hard to say for a French. Free bricks. Free free bricks to the chicken. So what we will check is, look, the veterancy. He's already close to first veterancy thanks to those 3 brick skills. But be careful. No, not that far. Okay, that's a big mistake. That's a very big mistake. He had to stay on the maximum range. Now he's in the range of all those bricks from different angles, and even the PDs. So this chicken will die in 2 seconds, and it will die in the middle of the army. So okay, he anticipates this. He knows he will lose the chicken, so he prefers to put it in the middle of the bricks. But I think those, I don't know, this distance, you see, it was nothing, but I think it could have been avoided, and he won't win the fight anyway, because check, the Navy is everywhere around, even if it's stealth for most of it. We hope to kill a lot of bricks, but anyway, we gave a T4 wreck in the middle of the enemy base without doing the mage. Now, well, tech free maxes will be needed, and I'm sure that Pachuriko will have those on time. Yeah, tech free max here. Only one, so it's not too big, of course, but it has to. He has to check, bring a lot of time, which makes will be upgraded to tech free. Yeah. Came back to my mind. More engineers, always more tech free air. And ships to protect against Navy. And oh yeah, it it won't hurt much. I think he should have continued on. He's doing, so my bad. He's doing the Yenzi production, because as we saw earlier, it's very good against Navy and it has a high speed. Well, when my computer is at -1, it doesn't look very fast, but it's a very fast unit. And it's not expensive at all, so with such a big economy, you can imagine to have 100 NZ, why not? I don't want to cross a T4 with this, but against Navy, it will be very okay. This tech-free bomber, 8 kills, so it's okay. Well, I think there's a lot of frigates in it. And a sneaky attempt to get some Navy here, only take 1 sub now. You never want to commit that much. The massive scout for Pachuriko. At this timing, what does Pachuriko want to know? First he wants to know if Zock is going to tech-free Navy, because if there's battle cruise on tech-free subs enters on the field, it's a strategy that could have the range to kill all the base. So that's dangerous, and also kill the Navy. But for the moment it's not the case, but yeah, Pachuriko really wanted to check this. A little break in the game, like now it makes, I don't know, 10 minutes there were not a big engagements, but it's easy to understand. The last big fight that we had were not good for the offensive player. It wasn't a good trade, so the two players realized it and said, okay, I will reach a bigger income, but I'm still worried because we still see the two incomes. And yeah, Petrick, he reached the 400 income, 400 mass income. So yeah, you can see another tech-free here, and those are so well protected on tech-free Navy. Tech-free Navy now. So yeah, the eco-growing of Zock was at a point, but now it's becoming a little worse. And if we check, I think the reclaim of Pachuriko is way higher. 48 for Zock, and yeah, 110,000 for Pachuriko. So big lead. We saw where the difference now, because in the air, probably air supremacy for Zock, but is he really able to use it when there are cruisers everywhere? No. Cruiser prevent from dropping, prevent from sending some strat bombers. You would like to send some all your ISF here and bombard all those tech 2 maxes. But Navy, that's why it's so strong. It prevents air, it prevents land, it prevents a lot of things. And still some more. Yeah. So he's reaching a big energy income. But maybe he should just pause it and really focus on increasing the mass income. We saw, remember, it was very scary to see, but finally Pachuriko didn't suffer at all from this. We saw, remember, 23 minutes game, there were 1 or 2 tech 3 pigeon, but Patrick wouldn't take free air. And he had half of the energy income of Zock, but in the end, did he suffer from this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because he prevented his opponent from dealing damages with tech 3 air. Seeing this, he lost 2 or 3 tech 3 pigeon at the moment. At a moment where, by the way, I think the ACU is easy to knife, but still we can't blame a player for not going in. Going all in is always a risk. Even when it's obvious, you still have the choice. You can keep your advantage and continue the game. Okay, so maybe finally Zock will win one of the 2 options. Poor strat bomber. What do you want? Those? I don't know. But when it's planned here, and what's in the product? Some ASF, and some ASF, and some scouts. Oh, that's good. Scouts, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So what's the plan now? You are a Seraphim player, you know that you are below, you're getting dropped, even if you have air supremacy, because you don't have navy control, so you're losing some income little by little, but you still have a 340 economy. At the moment, I don't know, yeah, we won't see anything with this. Oh, it's very clear, thank you. No, we don't see anything with this, but I can tell you that this is where most of Zock's income going. All those tech 3 factories are slurping a lot of mass. You can see 21 for each factory. 21 mass per second. That's enormous. So 21, 80, 100 of the mass income in autumns. Autumns, it's like the unit you never want to have as Seraphim, because it's not good against the overtech 3. It's not good against T4. So yeah, the autumn spam, you really want to avoid this when you are Seraphim player. What's interesting is that Zock is well known to use this advantage when he faces a Seraphim player. So I expected him, when playing Seraphim, that he will not commit too much to autumns, because it's I don't have the English word, but it's like a trap. It's a trap of mass. Okay, so still more ASF for Zock, I think, but better micro from Pachuriko. So I will say I will say no winner. Yeah, see, yes, Zock is winner, and after he will probably clean up the tech 3 gunships. But if this ocean is won by Zock, it will change a damn lot of things. It will open the way to the very high value economy of Pachuriko, who is about to reach the 600 mass income without reclaim. So I let you imagine, it's that big number that we don't realize, but he's about to have 2 times the income of Zock. He's an eco war. We can call it that way. So when you have this kind of economy, it's like you have access to a totally new game, and you have some new counters that your opponent won't have. As a Cybran, for example, Pachuriko will be able to build a Scatis, which is an excellent counter to Navy. Or he will be able to build 2 or 3 Soul Reapers quite easily. Yeah, some very big units that can do a lot of stuff for you. As Seraphim, of course you're thinking of the Awasha. And with this income, it's still possible to build one. maybe it would have been a choice for Zock instead of the Aitota. We saw Pachuriko, he's not trying any direct. Wait. You remember what I told you about the decreasing value of each unit? He just control K'd the Mantis. All his Mantis just died. He did it probably because of the unit cap. Yeah, when he does this, it's because of the unit cap. For sure. And also it gives some mass. Oh, he's focusing HQ, I think. It's a good thing. But probably... Is there some TMDs around? Here it's being built. But if he has some problem with the unit cap, he could be annoyed a lot. First battleship, yeah, first battleship here. And how many tech-free mexes? So finally, he's thinking of the Awasha. Only 2 tech-free mexes. That's not very good. However, on the reclaim side, there's still some mass here. And yeah, quite a lot of tech 2 ships to reclaim here. So we could say that you never have in this kind of games time to check the map, especially when it's that big, like, oh, let's see the ground and check if there's some mass to grab around. You will never have the time to do it. But you can put some order around some large areas, like you put an attack order with your engines here, because you know there were some fight, and you can guess that there is some mass. It takes really short time and it can increase your reclaim income. So let's see how this Awasha will work. I'm a little worried. It was looking nearly more available 10 minutes ago. Maybe leave out the Aitota. That's a big force. But it's Seton. What I will do, I will control K those atoms. Now maybe not all of those, but it will give the mass to build the Awasha. And for sure, those atoms will never do the damage that an Awasha can do. Few bombing, it killed some mexes, so it's good. Yeah, this for example requires a lot of attention and time. Some engineers killing the cruisers. Oh, cruisers will react on time. Boom. The TML in the face. Be careful not to hurt yourself, little cruisers. Or don't hit your friends. I think there is friendly fires for TMLs. Well, for real TMLs, sure. Because you can TML your allies, it's always something really fun to do. But for the TMLs from the cruisers, I think there's always some friendly fire. Tech 2 factories. We focus on Zock, but when Pachuriko is doing some excellent points, we can also talk about those. He's spamming Tech 2 NGs, and he's about to rebuild those mexes way faster. So excellent point. And yeah, that hurts to see so many Tech 3 mexes. Here, some more. Yeah, he's having an enormous income, and he's about to lose part of his base. So time is running out. For Zocky, he still has air. 58 against of ASF. I don't think the ACU is teeable anymore. That stage of the game you can face some teleport Zakus. Okay. That's not a big loss, it's only a tech-free factory. He's sending the shields to protect his base, good choice, but it's earning only a short time. On the Awasha, will it be able to kill the cruiser? Oh, drop. He has to... Yeah, and he goes. But check at the positioning of the cruiser. Again, kills. Maybe it will be a little too late, I do. And it's brick. Okay, excellent. That's not something you want to have landed on your side, especially when it's protected by battleships. It's the Awasha of the last hope. What will be done with this one? It will be finished. Not on time, but it will be finished, I think. What surprised me is that Zock stopped echoing. Because some player will stop echoing, they won't know how to become more, or if they try to do, they will lose the game because they won't have an army to protect their bases. But Zock, he definitely knows how to reach a 600 or nearly 700 now mass income. So maybe he had not, because it requires a lot of energy. When you finish this kind of game, you're totally exhausted. Your brain can't think anymore. By the way, I checked, those two players, they played maybe 7 ranked games, and this game was the last game they played. Why? Because it's exhausting to play game. It's very, well, for the adrenaline, where it's very good, because you have a lot to do at the same time, and it's an excellent training. But yeah, it's quite it's like doing a jogging of 40 minutes, except that you won't lose weight, but your brain will be well saturated. He tries to focus the Awasha, I think, but he will lose his base anyway. Few tech to planes here, but you never want to send all your ISF there. And back, yeah. Finally, Zock won't have the navy control here. That's sad. He had quite a good number, and finally, let's see. We are taking the control of the Awasha. I think the game is not over, but there's very few chances for Zock to win this one. He will have to hurt a lot. And if there's too many SAM, we will see the HPs decreasing way too fast. Bam! Okay, that's a good first kill. Okay. Then second focus. It's very hard to control an Awasha because the turn speed is very low. Well, especially when my computer is at minute 3. And you, I'm touching my computer at the moment. It's very hot. It's burning. Yeah, you see, it's not dropping. You have to take some very big angles. And if it took a veteran C, I think, yes, the Awasha has a veteran C, but it will die, and it's game over. It's game over. Yeah. Cluch in the swimming pool. Yeah. So, still, that was impressive. I'm a little bit annoyed because in this cast I had the impression that I was always criticizing what Zock was doing, and yeah, I think I didn't insisted on all the excellent thing he did, like getting first this income and being able to play 45 minutes game here. It's huge. It's very huge. But on the opposite side, and we will have 1 minute just to check base of Petric because the game is over. They called the GG after the loss of the Awasha. As I said, it was the last hope of Zock. It wasn't enough. So, game over. Excellent. What did we saw? As we said, it's a game where you have to balance between air, land, and navy. But we have to take some conclusions. Like land, there were some big assaults, but never some decisive moment. No one managed to break through the opponent by land. But what annoyed me in Zock's strategy is that more than half of his income, no, but nearly half of his income went in the tech-free land product, which didn't pay off in this game. The biggest part was in air. As we know, air, the time is the most dominant strategy on big maps. Probably that it really is. But this navy from Pachuriko made the game. It was a decisive thing because it made him safe. He wasn't able to win the game. At 43 minutes game, he was, by the way, still not able to win the game. His opponent gave up, which is normal because he couldn't lose the game anymore, but he was not yet able to win it. Because killing a base with battleships, especially Cyberman ones, it takes centuries when it's well defended. It can allow some comebacks, and there's some very funny situations when both of the players have each one an ocean. And when it's the case, you can see the two players losing their bases because you can't defend it against Navy forever. You can shield your base, it will earn sometimes it even win 15 minutes, so it's huge. But it's only a matter of time, and if you rebuild your position and your economy a little more far, like definitely outranged of the battleships, you can stay in the game. And it's like a base trade, but it's not a base trade because you won't take the slot of your opponent, but you will have to move your base and you will force your opponent to do the same. But this situation didn't happen because Pachuriko nearly managed to stay on the navy on this South Ocean. But yeah, so navy was the first point, but the other big point was its economy. Tech-free maxis everywhere. Here. If I want to give you the advice, it's easy. Like as I said, 2 words. You do some navy, you do some tech-free maxis. But that Zock and many other players, they know what to do. But it's extremely hard to find the time to surround all those maxis. You imagine you're in game, one by one. Look. You have the template here. You're doing all your game, all your stuff. And find the time to do this. Up. You unzoom. You do this again. Undo this again. Undo this again. And again. And again. Up. You saw? I just took 10 seconds just to surround the mixes. That's maybe 1% of your attention. And all the rest has to be on navy. You don't want to let your battleships without cruisers. If you lose your cruisers, you have to rebuild some cruisers. Look, excellent. He's doing some cruisers at this moment. Here, the ACU underwater. It's always better. You have a lot of known spots. This water, this side, but it still can be sniped. And it's interesting. On the first part of the game, Pachuriko, offensive player. Well, he was constantly the offensive player, but all of his offensive were cost effective. So, well, very good game to the 2 players. I hope that we'll see more of those. They always produce some very cool replays, both of those 2 players. And that's all for today. And I hope to see you for another cast very soon. So, bye bye. See you guys.